Hello, students. This week in the React repository, we saw a focused effort on enhancing the developer experience with significant updates to dev tools, the build process, and type safety. These changes aren't just minor bug fixes, they represent a deep commitment to making React easier to debug and more robust to build with. A new dimension in debugging, the Suspense timeline. The change. A major highlight was the introduction of an initial version of the Suspense timeline in React DevTools. Developer Sebastian Silberman added a new Suspense timeline component complete with a slider and visual markers. This tool allows you to navigate through the lifecycle of your application's suspense boundaries and even override their states interactively. The concept. React Suspense is a powerful feature for managing asynchronous operations like data fetching directly within your component tree. However, debugging complex loading sequences, nested fallbacks, and data waterfalls can be challenging. A visual timeline is a game changer because it transforms abstract async states into a concrete, explorable sequence, allowing you to pinpoint exactly why a component is suspending and how long it takes to resolve. Think of it as a time machine for your app's loading states. Refining the developer toolkit. The change. Several smaller but impactful changes were made to improve everyday development. Host instance highlighting in DevTools was enhanced to include the name prop in the display, formatted as displayName name equals name prop. Separately, a new script was added by Joseph Savona to automatically generate Markdown documentation for the React compiler's lint rules. The concept. These changes underscore a core principle: a great library needs great tooling. Displaying the name prop makes it far easier to distinguish between similar elements, especially in complex UIs or when using testing libraries. Meanwhile, automating documentation for lint rules is critical for a feature as complex as the new compiler. It ensures developers have clear, up-to-date guidance on how to write code that the compiler can effectively optimize, directly linking code quality to performance gains. Strengthening the foundation, build process, and type safety. The change. The team also made critical improvements to the project's underlying infrastructure. Sebastian Silberman refined the rollup build configuration to be more explicit about which Node.js built-ins should be treated as external dependencies. He also fixed a dependency issue by switching a Babel plugin from @babel/plugin-transform private methods to @babel/plugin-proposal-private methods. The concept. This work is about creating a more predictable and robust build system. Implicitly treating all node built-ins as external can lead to bloated bundles or runtime errors if not managed carefully. By explicitly listing dependencies like React or crypto, the configuration becomes clearer and less prone to breaking. This is a lesson in infrastructure. Robust foundations enable faster and safer feature development. The change. Throughout the week, Jan Cassens methodically upgraded the project's Flow version from 0.263 all the way to 0.279. This required numerous small fixes across the codebase to satisfy the stricter type-checking rules of the newer versions. In one related commit, he simplified synthetic event type annotations to resolve a typing conflict. The concept. This illustrates the continuous effort required to maintain code health in a large-scale project. Upgrading a static type checker like Flow is not trivial. It often reveals subtle pre-existing issues or requires more precise type definitions. While it may seem like tedious work, each upgrade makes the entire codebase safer and more resilient to bugs. It's a proactive investment in stability, ensuring that as React evolves, its internal quality keeps pace with its external features.